Okay, so welcome to the second module of our beginner violin course, Laying the Foundations. In this module, we're finally going to start to learn how to put everything together and build a solid violin technique from day one. And so in this first part of the second module, we're actually going to learn how to familiarize ourselves with the strings of our violins. And to start with, it doesn't matter what size of violin you have, because there are many sizes. It doesn't matter what country it came from, when it was made, who made it. All violins are going to be tuned in the same way, with a very few rare exceptions in the entirety of the violin repertoire, where there's a couple of pieces, a handful of pieces that actually require an alternative tuning. That means you're going to have to change slightly the pitch of one or more of your strings, but those pieces tend to be a lot more advanced. So for the purpose of this course, you shouldn't be concerned about this. And so the general tuning of a violin is always going to be from lowest to highest, G, D, A, E. Or if you'd like to learn the Latin names of the notes, Sol, Re, La, and Mi. And also to better help you visualize these notes and give you a better idea of what they actually look like, if by chance you don't know how to read notes just yet, I'm also going to write them down right here. And as you can see, the actual pitch of the note is going to be determined by the position on the staff, those 5 lines. So basically, the higher their position on the staff, the higher the pitch is going to be. Okay, so now what I would like you to do is actually go ahead and get your violin, and you're going to place it on your shoulder like we learned at the end of module 1. You're going to place it on your shoulder at a slight 45-degree angle. And now, because we're not yet going to use our left hand, you can just go ahead and place it right here. The violin is going to be a little bit easier to hold that way, but make sure, of course, that first of all your hands are clean and that you're being very gentle with it. And then with your right hand, with the index finger of your right hand, we're going to go ahead and pluck the strings one by one to get a better feel, a better idea of the pitch and the frequency that they produce. So we'll start from the lowest and go all the way to the highest note, like this. Now, if your violin was tuned correctly, like we learned as well in the first module, then you should be making more or less the same sound as I am. So let's try that once again. And you can try now going the other way from highest to lowest. So that's Mi, La, Re, So. Now, as you can see, I'm actually plucking the strings around this area, right above the fingerboard, because if you do it closer to the bridge, we're actually going to be bowing the notes later on, the strings get a lot more tense, a lot more taut, and so the sound also gets a lot smaller. If you do it right here, you see they barely produce any sound. So to give them a better chance of actually being able to vibrate freely and react and produce a better sound, you can do it a little bit further away from the bridge, where the strings are going to be a little bit suppler. So go ahead, let's try that once again. And going back the other way. Alright, so now for the next part, we're actually going to start using our bow and our violin together. So go ahead and get your bow ready.